Welcome back, my friends. Welcome back. Scotty the Trucker coming to you from Goldsboro, not Goldsboro, but Gould, O-U, Goldsboro, Pennsylvania. Just did a pretty long run from, let's see, where was it? Iowa, all the way to Pennsylvania. I don't know, about 12 days off of home time. This is kind of my proof of life video for you guys. I'm still here. Things have been rolling trucking wise. I've been doing really great. Staying moving, making money, doing very well. Dispatcher kind of still keeping me in that, I guess, meat patch is what you'd call it, I suppose. It's that upper Midwest, and you radiate from there and back to the Northeast. Still kind of doing that I-80 a lot, you know, which it's fine. I've gotten quite used to it. I like I-80 and I-76 as well. Yeah, like I said, I'm just checking in just to let y'all know I'm still here. Thought I was thinking of what to talk about today. I got a couple little stories, I guess, little tidbits just for fun. This is not my next installment of the playlist that I'm working on with the big decision, working through that. I have tried to film the next one a few times and it hasn't worked. John's gonna get me record. I'm showing my age. The next video that I'm doing is I've already built it, probably mistakenly so, as me gonna be showing off my acting skills and kind of channel myself from a year ago, kind of let you know where my head was at back then. The original big decision video goes through the situational stuff, of what our family was going through, so I don't want to do that over again, but I do want to revisit the topics for the playlist. So I thought I'd do more of a internal monologue, of just where I was mentally, physically, just my headspace at the time. And I've tried to do that a few times, and it's a lot harder than I thought it would be. For one, my usual problem of keeping things concise is even worse. I kept rolling. It was getting too long. But yeah, a little more difficult than I had expected. So one of these times I'll get it right and I'll post it. But for today, just a little bit of fun, just a few little things to talk about. First was I was at Iowa 80, the world's largest truck stop. I don't know, it's been about four or 5 days ago, something like that. And there was a trucking phenomenon that maybe some of you guys that have been trucking a while can explain to me, because I don't get it. I was at Iowa. Good God, I'm at an industrial park on the shoulder, and man, some of these people are going like 90 across, down right beside me. Anyway, I was at Iowa 80 for a pretty good stretch overnight and into the morning quite a bit. I had a little bit of a layover there, and I think it was around 10 o'clock. I was sitting up front. I was reading my book, and I was noticing. I believe Iowa 80 boasts, I think I saw on a billboard that they boast 900 parking spaces for trucks. I believe it. The parking lot is humongous. And I was there around 10 o'clock and it was virtually empty. The very front row, which is always full, was full. And then I was on the very next row. There's a little small row at the back of the building, and then there's a long row that goes alongside the building, so it's kind of still a first row. But anyway, I was in that first row. The whole parking lot, there was only a few people in my row, a few trucks, but the whole parking lot behind me, the whole thing all the way to the back, was virtually empty. And they're all pull-throughs, just about. I actually looked around at other places. There's a few little non-pull-through spots tucked in the corner, here and there, but I would say at least, I think I'm safe saying that 850 of the 900 are pull-throughs. Okay, so I'm sitting there in this front row in a row of pull-throughs. It's the kind, they're diagonal and there's back-to-back parking. But when it's empty, they're pull-throughs. And time again, I know I counted probably 6 trucks that came across in front of me and backed in. I don't get that. I just don't. Maybe if you have been doing this so long that backing is as easy as breathing, maybe I kind of get it. But these were not those people. Some of these were struggling to back up, and I'm just like, all you had to do was go whoop, around the corner and pull through. It just struck me as really strange. I've seen it before, not just there, but backing isn't a real problem for me anymore. I'm doing quite well now. I actually look forward to shippers and receivers and the next challenge with backing, because I've pretty much got it down. I'm still learning things here and there, and once in a while I'll hit something that poses a little bit of a struggle, but my whole attitude towards it is a lot different. Even the struggle I kind of look forward to, because I learn some things, but backing is no longer really an issue for me. But still, I can't imagine a time where I would opt to back into a diagonal space when I can go 15 feet further around and go in front ways and line it up real easily with a pull through. So somebody explain that to me. I can't for the life of me figure out the motivation for that. The only two things I come up with, if I'm being charitable, maybe they're practicing. I don't believe that's true. Or on the other end of it, showing off, I don't know. Just odd to me, and if you do it, it's fine. It doesn't hurt anybody, but for the life of me, I cannot figure why try to make things more difficult for yourself. I'm always for the path of least resistance. So even though I'm getting better, I'm always looking first for the pull-through. I don't know. Maybe I'm the crazy one. All right, second story. I got flipped off yesterday. I got flipped the bird by someone who I think is a moron. Anyway, I'll go through this scenario. Even those of you that aren't trucking will know roughly the scenario. It's just a traffic scenario that we all hit. It's just a little different in a truck. But it's basically when you're going down the interstate and you got an on-ramp coming. And you know that feeling you get when you see early on, before the lanes come together, you see in the distance, you see a car, this one was a car, coming down the ramp, virtually even with you, and you just know in your head, this guy's going to be a problem, that when it comes down to converging. And that's what hit me yesterday. I think there's also a phenomenon of where you're from in the country, of how you handle being in the interstate line, and that's something that I've had to kind of shake. In Virginia, for the most part, we're pretty courteous drivers, I think. In the car, in the old days, we're letting people in, we're slowing down, things like that. Now, one thing my trainer said, taught me, and it's taken me a while to kind of shake some of that off, because in the truck, you really got to do it a little differently. The rule of thumb, and I've always known the rule of thumb, is that if you're on the interstate, for the most part, you're supposed to maintain your speed, and it's the responsibility of Bozo over here to speed up or slow down and mesh into traffic. That's in the perfect world. Now, some I've seen even on the Friday meetings where they've done the videos, and I think the person's excuse for when they get in an accident or whatever is that I'm in my lane. I'm damn sure I'm not going to vary at all. I don't go that purist. I think you need to have your wits about you, and there are scenarios where you might want to tap the brake simply because they're not necessarily on the same page with you as well. But in this particular instance, we're coming on, and he pulls ahead of me. There's actually two cars, one right here with right beside me, and then one behind him. The car right behind him saw that I'm a tractor trailer, and he started slowing down. Right, he had decided he's going to mesh in behind. The front car had gotten ahead of me and was going to look perfectly fine, looked like he was going to do right and mesh in front of me, and he had plenty of room. But just for measure, I didn't tap my brakes, but I let go of the whatever you call it, cruise control, just a slight little bit, just to give him a little edge, because this is the problem. Cars, they never, so often, not never, but they don't step on their accelerator, He could have very easily, if he didn't like the space, could have just tapped the accelerator and moved forward a little bit and come in. But what started off as it looked like it was going to be a perfect mesh, at the very last second, he slams on his brakes instead of coming over. And I'm in here before that screaming, accelerate, accelerate, accelerate. Even if he didn't, he still had room, And I'm just sitting, I'm just thinking, and that happens, not to that degree where they slam on the brakes at the end. Anyway, he slammed on the brakes. I don't know if he caused a problem for the car behind him, but he rolled around, and I saw the middle finger go up, and I'm just like, you bozo. Like, do you understand that I'm almost 80,000 pounds? Do you know what happens when I hit the accelerator hard or the brake? Almost nothing. Slowing down and speeding up is a process in a tractor trailer. It is not immediate. You cannot fluctuate like you can in a car. And and I forgot to mention, I do get over. If I can get over, that's what I'm going to do. But in this particular case, when I saw him over here, I looked to the left, and it's a tightly packed row of cars going. No way to do that without causing a problem in and of itself. So anyway, I get so aggravated. Usually they don't end up like that, but it happens time and time again. The cars, they'll piddle down, and some of them are just oblivious. You can tell they don't care what you're doing, whatever. They're going to blend at the end, no matter what. It's like they're not even looking. It's just blinders on. But so often it's like, and sometimes the ones that get me are the ones that piddle and go slow on the on-ramp rather than step on the gas and get out ahead of you. They'll go slow as crap, and then once they're on the interstate, they're Mr. 90 miles an hour. They're like, where was that a second ago? So anyway, yeah, I got flipped off. I don't believe I deserved it in that particular case. I was trying to let him over, screaming, not that he can hear me, but screaming for him to step on it and come on over, that I was slowing down a little. Like I said, I wasn't tapping the brakes or anything, but I did let off the cruise control, just a little bit of a pullback. So anyway, that's trucking. All right, let's see. Just little updates, I guess. Trying to think. Yeah, I kind of gave you where I've been. Where I'm heading now is, like I said, I'm in Goldsboro, Pennsylvania. I'm gonna head southwest a little bit, about an hour. Gonna pick up a beer run and heading to Colorado. So yeah, nice long, well paid trip. I'm excited about it, and it's turning out to be kind of the way I like it. And some people might not like it this way, but this week that I'm on is going to be a good settlement week. I don't know exactly where it'll be, but it'll be a good one. I've been moving, and there's been a couple really good paying ones on here. This one will be performed during this pay period, but it won't hit payroll until next one, which I kind of like. That a couple videos back, or more than a couple probably, I mentioned that I had my best week ever, and I actually had, I think, my 2 best weeks, like back to back. And the best weeks are, for me, usually when you have a big long run that has a pretty good settlement at the end, and it hits just after payroll, so that you're starting your next week with a good chunk of change in there, just sitting there waiting to go, and you got the whole week to add to it. So those are the kind of weeks I really enjoy. So I'm coming off a good week already, and this one will be a good payment just right off the bat, and set me up for a really good week coming up next week. So I'm excited, and not to mention, I really enjoy the longer drives. Just money aside, I think the shorter ones tend to be, in general, a little better paying. They're a lot more work, and that's probably why. But I enjoy the longer ones better. I love anytime I've got a day or two of just pure driving, where I don't have to worry about a shipper or receiver coming up, during the day. Just an all-day drive. That's heaven out here. So anyway, I guess that's all I got to babble about today. Mainly just want to let you know I'm still here. I'm working through my comments. As usual, my home time, I have lofty goals of all kinds of stuff, but I end up just having a blast with my family. And I came back out, rolling on the trucking. Trucking's been doing great, but I just haven't gotten back into my YouTubing. So here I am. I'm alive, doing well, and I'll try to be a little more consistent. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.